Dragonpath is an action RPG developed by Ebonscale Games. It is currently available as an early access game on the Steam platform. Instead of being class-based like most hack-and-slash RPGs, Dragonpath alters your moveset based on which weapons you currently have equipped. Each weapon has two abilities tied to it. In general, weapons are separated between melee and range types. The first attack is typically the same across the board, a swing for melee or a shot for ranged. However, the specific properties of those attacks differ based on the exact weapon equipped. A dagger attacks faster than a greatsword, for example, but at a shorter reach. Also, many weapons have different damage modifiers for chaining attacks together. The second ability is where weapons have more variation. A specific type of dagger, the blink dagger, has the ability to send out a projectile. If that projectile hits a target, your character will teleport behind them. A Reaver sword, on the other hand, has the ability to cause your character to spin wildly, attacking all targets around you. There are a large number of weapon types. Over the course of my playthrough, I probably ran into around 30 to 40 different kinds. On top of primary weapons, you also have access to trinkets. These trinkets grant a third ability and typically have a longer cooldown than that of your primary abilities. One example allows your character to toss a bomb, which deals damage and interrupts any enemy that it hits. Dragonpath features some character customization, though not to a very large degree. Upon leveling, the player is given the option to select from one of 3 buffs to their character. These are usually the typical stat upgrades, like maximum health, attack speed, movement speed, and so on. Each floor of the dungeon has a merchant, allowing you to sell your unwanted equipment and purchase new ones. The merchant also allows you to upgrade the strength of your weapons, allowing the player to use the same weapon for the entirety of the game, should they so desire. Enchantment scrolls are available as well, which grant specific boons to weapons. For example, the blazing enchantment gives the weapon a chance to deal additional damage for each hit. The combat in Dragonpath at first felt really good. If you don't focus on dodging enemy attacks, it is really easy to get overwhelmed and die. At a certain point, however, I found that my character had become incredibly overpowered, and I was able to go from room to room without even thinking about dodging. Upon entering a room, I would dash to the nearest target and hold down the attack button, clearing each room in a matter of seconds. This applied to bosses from that point on as well. What I found most odd is that there is no penalty for death whatsoever. All that happens is you get sent back to the start of the floor, though all the rooms will remain cleared. You don't appear to lose any gold or experience towards your next level. For this reason alone, there isn't really any point in caring about death, and it promotes a sort of brute force playstyle. Dragonpath would also really benefit from having the option to play in hardcore mode, making one death be the end of your run, a popular choice in this genre. There are 3 difficulty options available: easy, normal, and hard. In total, the game took me around an hour and a half to complete on the normal difficulty. While this is pretty short, the game is largely inexpensive at an asking price of $8. The game does thankfully boast at least some replay value given how many weapons are available to the player. Dragonpath is certainly a short and imperfect game, though it is still an enjoyable experience. It has the skeleton of something more meaningful, with its vast array of weapons and fun combat, but ultimately it just isn't enough. Hopefully the developers create more content for players to enjoy over the course of time that it remains in early access, because it most certainly has potential.